This is the brand new SyncPen3 from NEWYES. This product allows you to write inside of a notebook and capture things digitally. It also comes with an LCD tablet you can also capture things on and save it directly to the app. What we'll be doing today is taking a review of this, checking out how this whole thing works, and really taking a deep look into, is this something that could potentially work for me and potentially for you as well? So let's go ahead and check everything out.
I'm really excited to bring this to you and check this out together. Like I said, I love that this is mixing technology, digital, and analog all together in one spot. And it gives you a lot of good options. So this is from NEWYES. This is the SyncPen3. And the first thing that you're going to get inside of this box is going to be the notebook. So the paper that's inside of here is something that you need. It's proprietary to this brand. And that is because down here at the bottom, you have some action items. We're going to talk about these more in detail when we do the demo, but what's cool is that as you're writing with this, you can change how it's digitally being captured using these items here. What I also love about the notebook is there's actually a ton of spaces for storage inside of here, cards, papers. We've got pen holders over here on this side as well. So it's fully stocked, it's ready to go, and it looks pretty cool too. Next thing inside of this box is going to be the LCD tablet. So what's neat about this is that if you don't want to always use the paper, you just want to capture things digitally, you don't even need to have the notebook. You can just have this tablet and the entire app will capture this as well. We'll take a closer look at this too, but as you can see right now, across the bottom here, you're going to see the same exact icons that you saw on the notebook. All of these are going to be extremely important for that digital capture, especially with this LCD screen. This is not a colored LCD. You're only going to really get what you see on here in just a two-tone, this black color and then a lighter color as well. But all of this can control what you see in your digital notes. And then the last thing that you're going to see inside of your box is going to be your smart pen. I'll say that of all of the things that this smart pen can do, one thing that it does that the others can is a 360-degree capture. So there are other smart pens out there that work with apps and for taking notes, but unfortunately with those, you have to hold them at a certain angle. You can't really have that full flexibility with your pen or what you do or how you capture it. This captures at 360, so you really can write any way that you want. You don't have to change yourself. Now also inside of here, you are going to have a little clip. We'll take a look at this in just a second, but that's used to put and remove the ink and the tablet styluses that come as a part of this that you need for that capture. You're also going to have a charger inside of here because you're going to need to charge your pen every now and again. And then we also have two different types of nibs. You have your pen, so you can actually write with ink in that notebook, or if you're choosing to go fully digital and not do that, they also have styluses here that you're going to use instead with that LCD tablet. The pen itself has a great weight to it. It's super light. It's not extra heavy. What's cool about it is because it needs to be connected right through Bluetooth for your app, you don't have any extra buttons or anything on here. The previous versions did, but the Sync 3 does not. All you have to do is take off your top, and then you'll see that your blue light is starting to light up, which means it's looking for the app to connect. On the top here, this is where we're going to use this little clip deal to be able to pull out our ink. You can order these replacements from NEWYES. They have all of that on their website, and I'll also link them in the descriptions for you below. Regardless if you're using the ink or even just the other plastic nibs, they have to be on here for this pen to work. You can't use it without. This is going to be what's actually capturing this next head part here, so you want to make sure to keep that relatively safe. And then here on the bottom, if we pop off this bottom little piece, you'll see that's where you are going to charge this pen when you need to. The lights itself will let you know when it needs to be done like that. It'll start glowing or blinking at different times while you're using it, and that'll indicate, hey, I need to be charged. You also don't need to worry about turning your pen off. Once you put the cap on, the light will go off and it'll disconnect, and that way you're saving battery. So let's go ahead and open up the app. The first thing that we need to do is we need to connect our pen to the apps. That way it can remember that capture and put all of our notes together here. So what I'm going to do is tap on this little pen with the slash through it. This is going to give you basically two directions. If you have the Sync Pen, that actually had a button on it that you'd have to press to turn on, but the Sync 2 and 3 do not. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our pen. We're going to take the top off. We're going to click next. Then the next directions, they're going to tell you to take a look at the number that's on the end of your pen, make sure that it matches. We're going to go ahead and click connect. All right, it says that our pen has been connected. So now we're going to go ahead and try this out with the app itself. So I'm going to go ahead and open up our notebook here and flip to the first page that we have. And also on our app, I'm going to go ahead and create a new notebook. We'll just name this one Test for right now. So what you're going to see here is we have our blank page, and then we also just have a blank paper here. There are a few different options on the app, but everything can be done right here on your paper. So everything's connected. Let's go ahead and just start writing. I'm just going to write my name here first. As you can see, as I'm writing here, it's also writing in the app and instantly capturing. Now down here at the bottom, we talked about there being a few different options. Even though this is one color ink that you have on your paper here, you can actually choose the different color inks that show up in the app on your digital version. So I can come down here over top of red, and I'm just going to tap lightly with my pen, and then I'm going to go ahead and write. And then on my paper here, you'll see that it's just the regular color, but over on the app, you'll see that it's writing in red. Do the same thing here with green, blue, and then we can come back to black. So far, we've been writing everything with the thin line, so it's just a nice thin line. You can also tap and write with a much thicker line. Pretty cool. Now over here, this is really neat. This is something that I wasn't expecting at first, but if you want to capture audio notes, you can. So what you do is you're going to tap on the play button, and on the app, that will start the recording. And when you're done recording, you'll tap on the stop button here, and that'll stop and retain your audio note inside of your note. So let's try it. I'm recording this audio note, giving this a try, seeing how this works out. We're going to give it a few seconds while we're talking, and then we're going to go ahead and tap the stop button, and it'll go ahead and stop and retain itself inside of our note. Then when we want, as it says, we can access this note in the app, tapping on the top right, and then go into recording. I'm recording this audio note, giving this a try, seeing how this works out. We're going to give it a few seconds while we're talking, and then we're going to go ahead and tap the stop button, and it'll go ahead and stop and retain itself inside of our note. It's recording the audio from the device that it's connected to, so for that you do want to make sure that you have that close by you, especially if you are writing and you want to capture something clear, or if you're capturing notes and someone else is speaking, make sure it's in the direction of them so you can capture what you need. All right, so we've written inside of our notebook. That is awesome. But now we have to try out our tablet. You can also go over here and tap on the LCD screen, and this will start to capture your notes whenever you're writing on your tablet. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and remove the ink from here. Now, I have tested this out. You can use this nib with that. You don't have to change it out every single time if you're switching between, but if you're already making the decision that you don't want to write with the notebook, that you only want to write with this tablet, then you can go ahead and just always keep this nib in here and it'll work out just great. So as I mentioned, this is not a colored LCD, so everything that you're going to write on here is just going to look, well, like this. What's cool is that as soon as I started writing on this, my app automatically created a page note for me. That's pretty darn awesome. So as I'm writing on here, it'll just go ahead and capture the same exact way it did when we looked inside of the notebook. It definitely has a little bit of a different tactile feel because on that it was ink on paper. This is much smoother as we're just running on this LCD surface. Down at the bottom, all of the same items that we saw on the paper exist here. So as I'm writing, I can go ahead and tap on red. That'll change my ink color to red, green, blue, and then black. The lines are also the same too. So you have your nice thin lines, or you have your really big, huge lines. You also have the ability to record those audio notes here the same way with the other paper, so we'll tap on the play. Hey there, I'm recording this next audio note here, trying out this tablet. This is pretty cool too, I love it. That's gone now and been saved inside of the app as well. The other thing you have down here is a little check mark. So if you've written on here, you have all of your notes, everything is captured. But now you need a new page. You're going to go ahead and tap on this check mark here. That's going to go ahead and save everything on your note here. And then what I can do is tap on this button that'll get rid of everything on the page. and now I can start my new note. One thing you do have to be careful of is if you clear your page before you tap that check mark and you start to write over it again, you'll see that it writes right over top of the note that you have. So you do have to be a little bit careful, making sure you tap the check, stop that note before you start your next one. Inside the app itself, so after you've collected your notes and what's going on, you can go back into these and change a handful of things. We can go back and we can actually change the name of the note. This is capturing the time in which that was taken, so you might want to come back in and be like, oh, this is, say it's notes for project 22, and those will all say, and I can go back and do those for all of those. Another cool feature of this, if you want to take your handwritten notes and try to convert them into text, if you tap on the little hamburger menu in the top, there is one thing that says recognize here. So what it's going to do is it's going to go in and it's going to try to recognize your text. And so as you can see here, I had the start new note, hello, hey dude, and it went ahead and it actually captured pretty close. I got SMRT new note, but I also wrote very fast, so I don't blame that at all. And then hello, hey dude. How cool is that? We'll also go back to our notebook because that has that option as well. I'm going to tap here, recognize. And we have everything here. Mark, red, green, blue, black. Hello, how are you? Taking notes in my notebook. I love this. It even tried to capture some of the emojis in here. That's pretty funny. This needs attention, exclamation point. And it didn't do a great job on the Friday part, but you know, it is what it is. But I can go back in now and I can change this. And now you have both your text as well as your hand captured area here too, which is pretty neat. If you want to, you can also play it back. So if you want to watch yourself use this, you can. So just doing that playback here will just show you exactly what you're doing. You can control things with the scrub bar down here at the bottom, and you can also control how fast you're seeing yourself write. If you're ever unsure of when you took a note, especially if you're writing quickly and going through, there is a notes information section here. And this will tell you the date in which you created it, as well as the time, and the last time that it was edited to. If you want, you can go ahead and share your note with people too. So if you want to find that great way of connecting your digital along with your analog and making sure that other people have your notes, you can populate them in here. You can save them as an image. You can save it as a PDF and share it through multiple different places. One of the other things that I didn't talk about is if you don't have your phone with you or your tablet, but you need to still take a note, you absolutely can. All right, taking my quick note, I'm going to come back in here to the LCD. I'll go ahead and refresh. And then in the very top here, you'll see that it actually captured my note. So I wasn't near my app. All that information is stored on here. So next time I do come into my app, my note can be captured. You can also affect things inside of the app itself if you just want to work right in here. You don't want to have your pen along with you. You can choose for highlighters, you can erase. You can also change your paper type too. Once you start writing, you can change it to be lined if you want it to kind of match what's in your notebook. You can also just choose just to have a blank page. So that could work really well if you're brainstorming out ideas, and that'll change everything. And you can also include images if you want to as well. The other really cool thing is that inside of the app, if at any point you're looking for a note, but maybe you can't find it, maybe you forgot to write down the right name for your notebook or title it some certain way, you can actually search inside of your notes. We're just going to search for blue because we know we wrote that down. That's going to go ahead and search through all of your different notebooks, all of your handwriting, and it's going to pull up which notes you have that word inside of it. So that's pretty awesome. It's also cool if you're studying or maybe you have a project name and you just want to find everything possible that you have collected or written down down around that project, this will bring it all up for you and be able to check out all of your notes.
I definitely see a lot of benefit to a product like this. The fact that you can use ink with a notebook and still capture it digitally is fantastic. You can share it with others. You can take your handwritten text and turn it into type and then share that as well. There's a lot of opportunity with this, and I'm excited to continue to try this out for myself and see if it's something that could work. If you're interested in checking these things out, I'll put all the direct links down in the descriptions below for you to check out even more about the SyncPen3 from NEWYES. If you want to check out more videos and unboxings of cool new products, I've got a whole playlist here for you. Thanks for coming to hang out today, and I'll chat with you soon. See ya.